Hey guys, so in today's video I'm going to go over my entire Switch physical games collection. So let's see what I've got in here and what I think of each game. So here's the first game, Super Mario Wonder. I recently completed this. I'm on the final challenge, the final challenge, but I've done pretty much everything, almost 100% of the game, just need to do that one level. But yeah, honestly this game is absolutely amazing. Definitely one of the best games of 2023. I won't be surprised if it gets nominated for Game of the Year. But yeah, Mario Wonder, that's one of the highlights of 2023. What else have I got? I recently bought this Mario Party Superstar because I wasn't a big fan of the last Mario Party game for the Switch, but this one is basically it's kind of like a remake of many of the old Mario Party games. You know, it's got a lot of the mini games from the old games in it. So if you like the N64 Mario Party games, you'll love this one because it's kind of like a remake of many of the old ones. So they basically just took a lot of the mini games, just redone them. I think it's got like over 100 mini games. But yeah, it's a great game so far from what I've played. I've not played enough of it, but so far, so good. What else we got? Luigi's Mansion 3. Yeah, I never played number 2, but I really liked the first one on the GameCube, and this one I'd probably say is the best of the 3. So if you've not played Luigi's Mansion, definitely recommend it. It's a great game. It's quite hard as well, from what I remember. But yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's different. Mario Golf. Alright, I've not actually played this one properly yet. It's on my to-do list. I bought the game, but just not got around to playing it. I love the old N64 Mario Golf, and I've not really played many of them since. But yeah, this is on my to-do list. Mario Striker. Now I know this game got criticised a lot because of a lack of content, but I've done over 50 hours of this game. It's the gameplay is really good, very good. It's, you know, if you can play FIFA, you can play Mario Striker. It's very similar. I'm not even a big FIFA player, but from what I've been told, people that play FIFA say the controls are very similar. It's quite a hard game to get into. I wouldn't say anyone can pick it up and play it. It's quite complicated. If you know, for kids, it's not like Mario Kart. You can just pick it and play it. It's quite skill based. But yeah, it's a really good game. It does lack a bit of content. They have released a few new characters. You know, it's had a lot of updates. But still, yeah, I can see why people are not fond of it. Me personally, I enjoyed it. I found it very competitive. The online was good, and yeah, I like it. It's a good game. I've done, like I said, over 50, 60 hours. It's one of my favourite games of last year. Yeah. Next one. Yeah, Steel Tin Case was not very good for this game. However, Super Smash Bros. You know what? Sorry guys, I've just got a Steel Tin Case right here, right now. The main case is packed up. But yeah, Smash Bros. You know what? Probably in the top 10, it's definitely in the top 10 Switch games. There's not much else I can say. It's one of the best fighting games of all time, in my opinion. Easily, you know. We play this almost every weekend when the family get around. I think we've done about 900 hours, you know, and that's as a family we play this together, 8 players. The game is just packed with content. There's, you know, not much else I can say about Smash Bros. It's just one of the best games ever, you know. I don't know if we'll get another Smash Bros, but if this is the last one, you know what, it's going to go down as one of the best. I have not played this game, Triangle Strategy. I've heard good things about it. I like the artwork. It's a Square Enix game, strategy game. It's on my to-do list. But yeah, not touched it yet. Can't say much about it. It's on my to-do list. Collection of Mana. Now, I haven't played the all the Mana games. You get the original Mystic Quest Game Boy version, Secret Manas from the Super Nintendo, and Secret Mana 2 on the Super Nintendo. Now, Trials of Mana, I know they remade Trials of Mana a few years ago, so maybe you're better off playing Trials of Mana, the remake, the 3D remake. But the original Secret Mana is, without doubt, one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best RPGs in the SNES. So yeah, I've not played the others, so I can't really comment, but the original Secret Mana is incredible. I mean, whether people will enjoy it today, I don't know, but for me, it's a lot of nostalgia. Square in its golden era. Now this one is, without doubt, one of the greatest JRPGs, or RPGs in general, for me. I didn't really play, I did play it when it came out in 2017 on the PS4, but I only did about 20 hours and then got sidetracked because 2017 was a good year for gaming, and put it down and kind of lost track where I was. So ever since then, believe it or not, I've been waiting for it to come on the Switch. I've waited since 2017 for this game to come out on the Switch. And it finally came out, and here it is. I managed to complete it. It took me 170 hours, and yeah, what a game. Absolutely incredible. It really is. It's definitely in my, well, I'll have to do a top 10 for my Switch games, but yeah, don't know where this would rank, but it would rank very high. Yeah, Persona 5, legendary. So, next we got Final Fantasy 12. Now, this is a game I initially played it very little on the PS2, and I didn't really like it. I thought it was really slow, very, very slow paced. I didn't like the battle system. This is back in 2006 on the PS2. But when they remastered it, honestly, it's actually a very good game. The story is a bit complex, but it's got very good voice acting for a Final Fantasy game, and because it's got this speed times whatever, you know, you can increase the battle speed and stuff like that, and you can increase the movement. It just speeds up the game and it makes it so much more playable. Now the gameplay is actually pretty good, so they've done a really good job, and I'd say the remaster definitely makes this a much better game. Story's not that bad. I can't really remember it anymore because, you know, it's a few years ago now, but it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I ended up clearing it, you know, and the PS2 I couldn't even clear it. So I would say this is one of the best. I wouldn't say one of the best, but it's definitely not as bad as I thought. It's a good game. So yeah, I like that game. So that's Final Fantasy 12 is also in my physical collection. Next, it's Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2. Now, Final Fantasy X is arguably the last real great Final Fantasy game. Hironobu Sakaguchi, I think this might have been his last Final Fantasy game, if you don't include the Final Fantasy XI online game. But now, Final Fantasy X, this is the last time the Final Fantasy team all worked together with Sakaguchi and Nobuo Uematsu. Yeah, this is a masterpiece. It's still a great game today. The voice acting, a bit cheesy, but it doesn't bother me. Like, maybe it's nostalgia, I don't know. But it's still a great game. It's, you know, can't say enough about it. It's a great game. Final Fantasy X-2, I've never cleared it. I played it on the PS2. Didn't mind it, to be honest, but it was, you know, because 10 was so good. 10-2, you can tell it was more of a spin-off type of game. You know, it wasn't the same team. It was, yeah, just it's an alright game. It's good. It's not great. It's not classic, but it's worth getting just for Final Fantasy X alone. 10-2 is a digital. I think it's digital. Yeah, you get a digital code for 10-2. So yeah, it's a great game, and I totally recommend it for anyone who hasn't played a Final Fantasy game. Check it out. It's on the Switch. Next, Pikmin 3. I'm not doing this in any order, by the way. I'm just grabbing it from my pile. So whatever I've got piled up, I'm just grabbing them. Pikmin 3. Took me 10 years to clear this game. I initially bought it on the Wii U, played it, I did like it, but I don't know, I guess it just wasn't, I must have been playing something else. I don't know what it is, it just, the Wii U wasn't, there were moments where I just didn't play on a lot of Wii U games. It's one of those. I remember enjoying it and then put it down. I don't know why. But yeah, got back into it on the Switch, and you know what, it's a great game. The co-op. So this is the first Pikmin game you can play co-op, and it's really good. I played it with my niece, and we played it together. My niece was only about maybe 8 years old at the time, and she really liked it. It's a great co-op game. It's fun. Honestly, it's got obviously new features in it that's not in Pikmin 1 and 2. But yeah, it's great. Main feature is the co-op, and it's a great game. Totally recommend it. Splatoon 2. Now this was obviously the Switch's launch year, and you know, the first Splatoon was brilliant. It was something new, fresh, new idea. New Nintendo IP. It was a lot of excitement. I really enjoyed it. You know, it was a breath of fresh air. But because the Wii U obviously didn't do so well, a lot of people didn't get to play Splatoon, didn't get to enjoy it. But Splatoon 2, that introduced a lot of gamers to Splatoon series, and it's a very unique game. Yeah, so it was great. You know, me and my mates used to play it online, and although I don't play much these days because, you know, so many more games to play on the Switch. If you've never played Splatoon, and I know number 3 is out now, and I've got number 3, but it's digital, so it's not going to be in this pile. But Splatoon's a great game. The single player is fun, you know, and the multiplayer obviously is what it's all about. Yeah, totally recommend Splatoon as well. If you don't want to play 2, well, jump on 3. They're both not much different, if I'm honest with you, 2 and 3, but great games. Starlink. This one. I'm not gonna lie, I bought this game when it first came out with the toys that you get with it. The NFC readers. I've actually got it here somewhere. Maybe I'll do a little video on that one day. But yeah, I never got very far in this game. It's not a bad game, but unfortunately I feel ripped off buying this one. I don't know how to say it, but at the time I bought this game full price, 2 months later it dropped in sale, and I think it went in sale like at 50%. So that kind of annoyed me. The game itself isn't that bad, but it's not superb. But I've not played it enough of it to really judge it. Maybe I'll go back on it one day. It is on my to-do list, but it's been on my to-do list for the last 5-6 years. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it another go. It wasn't a bad game from what I remember. It had good, solid gameplay. I just don't... I don't know, the toy mechanic thing, I just didn't get it. I really didn't. And they were expensive too, so I didn't buy any additional toys to play with it. You know, the NFC readers. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I need to play it more. But yeah. Bayonetta 1 and Bayonetta 2 came in this collection. So, Bayonetta 1 and 2. I had these on the Wii U when they first came out, and I bought the collection for the Switch, and I'll be honest, they're timeless. Especially number 1. I recently played it a few years ago in preparation for Bayonetta 3, and I realised that Bayonetta 1, visually it doesn't look as good anymore, but gameplay wise it's absolutely solid. If anybody said to me it's a 10 out of 10 in 2009, I can totally see why, because it is timeless. You can play Bayonetta 1 today, even if you've never played it before. Bayonetta 2, the gameplay is a lot more smoother, visuals are definitely better. I just think it's a little bit easier. Number 1 was very hard. Number 2, I think they toned the difficulty down, although you can change the difficulty. But yeah, Bayonetta 1 definitely is worth playing. 2 is good too, it is, it's a good game. I just think 1's better. Yeah, so good purchase, Bayonetta. Persona 5 Strikers. I still haven't played this game. I bought it, it's been on my shelf, it's on a to-do list. I've not even touched it, I didn't even turn it on. So, can't really comment on this game, but it looks good. I do like the, the Hyrule Warriors games, and this is made by Tecmo. And so it's one of those where it's like a Warriors type of game, but with Persona characters. So yeah, I might enjoy it. It looks good. I love Persona 5, so definitely on the to-do list. But yeah, not played it yet. Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. Now with this one, initially I was very excited. Then when I first started playing it, I kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of didn't think it was all that at first. Because I really liked the first one. I thought the first one was absolutely amazing. But then as I played it a bit more and more and more, by the time I played it, honestly, I loved it. That's what I thought of Spark of Hope. I think it's a brilliant game. Took a bit of time to get into, but by the end of it, I loved it. I think it is better than the first one. It's crazy because at first I didn't think it would be. I wasn't even feeling it as much, but then as I played it more and more, it got harder and harder. I was like really into it now. And by the time I played it, I loved it. I thought it was a brilliant game. So, totally recommend it for anyone who likes strategy games. So, Sparks of Hope. Mario 3D Collection, or All-Stars, 3D All-Stars. Now, controversial on this for a lot of people. And there's a lot of complaints that, they were just lazy ports, lazy remasters, very expensive. On top of that, it was a limited release for only about 6 months. But regardless, they're still amazing games, you know. They're just absolutely amazing games, especially Mario 64. It's one of the best games ever. I know some people will argue, oh well, you know, the camera angles are not that great anymore. You know, they could have tweaked it a bit, but that would mean that they'd have to do like a full-on remaster remake. I don't mind if they did it, great, but I think for the price you're getting three absolute classic games here. I didn't mind personally. Mario Sunshine has never been released before since the GameCube days. Galaxy is a brilliant game. It's one of my favourite. I mean, I love Mario games. For me personally, Mario 64, then Galaxy, then Sunshine. It's a shame Galaxy 2 didn't come on this collection. If they threw Galaxy 2 on here, it would have been the perfect bundle. No arguments, don't care what anyone says. Would have been the perfect collection. I didn't mind, hence why I bought it. You know, these are some of my favourite games, and they're totally playable, even today. I will say Mario Sunshine, if you do get this collection, if you were to buy it today, it'll cost you quite a bit, but if you do have this collection or are willing to buy this collection at any point, I would totally recommend playing Sunshine with a GameCube controller, because it just feels natural playing it with a GameCube control, especially with the shoulder buttons, because the GameCube controller has analog shoulder buttons, and playing Mario Sunshine on a normal Pro controller, it's a bit tricky. You have to fiddle around and get used to it. GameCube is totally natural because it was made for the GameCube controller. As for Mario 64, I would probably recommend playing it with the N64 controller. Again, it feels natural because it was designed for the N64 controller. Galaxy is fine playing with a Pro controller. That one's alright. But yeah, gotta remember these games were all designed for different systems, so yeah. Nintendo generally make games that are tailored for their system at the time. So yeah, I don't mind. I think it's a good collection. I have no controversies. Next, Super Mario U Deluxe. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. These are some of my least favourite games, and you're probably asking, well, why have you got it in your collection? But you know what? I used to play these with my nieces. You know, I have a big family, so when the kids come round, my nieces, nephews, we all get together. Even my brothers, siblings, we all play together. So it's great when you're playing, you know, 4 players. But as a single player Mario experience, I got bored of the new series. You know, the new Super Marios, they all look too similar. I liked them at one point, but by the time this one came out on the Wii U, just felt fatigue. I just thought Nintendo lost interest in 2D Mario games until Super Mario Wonder. Hence why Super Mario Wonder is just a breath of fresh air and one of the best games to come out this year. But this is still a good game, you know. If you're looking for a multiplayer Mario game, obviously I'd say get Mario Wonder, but this is not that bad either. Yeah, it's alright. It's good, but yeah, it's kind of overshadowed now by Mario Wonder. Next, we got Wii Sports. Oh, Nintendo Switch Sports, sorry, not Wii Sports. My bad. Do you know what? Again, another controversial one. People were very critical on this game, and I can understand why. You know, there's not many modes in this game. You've only got tennis, football, bowling, and you know what, badminton. Yeah, it's not got a lot of content for the price you pay, so it does feel a bit of a rip-off. But you know what? If you got a family, and when they come round, you know, kids, nieces, whatever, or you just want to play with mates, something casual, it's like Wii Sports, but just a modern version of Wii Sports, and it's fun. It is fun, but it's not worth the price. I know I bought it. I was curious. I like the Wii Sports games, but to be honest, it's if you find it cheap, it's definitely worth picking up. If you've got people to play with, if you haven't, probably not worth getting. Yeah, but it's one of those games, multiplayer game. Next up, here we've got Mario 3D World. Now this, and obviously you get Bowser's Fury, the new bonus content. And obviously Mario 3D World first came out on the Wii U, and it was one of the best games of 2013. And I'm glad they released it on Switch, because it definitely deserves the port. And yeah, it's initially when it first came out on the Wii U, I was a bit disappointed because I wanted a Mario Galaxy 2, or sorry, Galaxy 3, but then they gave us this isometric, basic looking 3D Mario game. But then when I started playing it multiplayer, I realised why it's isometric, and I realised how good it is. And you know what, I respect Nintendo and Mario games because they're always different. They always offer something different, and 3D World was a brilliant game in the end. Some of the level designs are fantastic, just like any 2D or 3D Mario games. It's easily one of the best games, and Bowser's Fury is basically just Mario Odyssey, you know, just like a small version of Mario Odyssey, sorry. So yeah, if you liked Galaxy, sorry, not Galaxy, Mario, if you like any 3D Mario game, especially Odyssey, and you like multiplayer games, definitely recommend this game. It's one of the best games on the Switch. ARMS. Now this was, again, launch year. It's a new original IP from Nintendo, and it was a really cool game. Unfortunately, I had not many people to play with, so I used to just play it on my own. I love the character design in this game. One of the best character designs you'll get. Unfortunately, I think Nintendo's going to abandon the series. I don't think we're going to get a sequel to ARMS. I think this will be it. So, it's one of those, you know, I don't think you're going to be playing much of it online with anyone. It's a good game though. It's definitely a good launch year game. I enjoyed it. It's a good game. It's very good quality. Anyway, next up we've got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Now for me personally, I'll do a top 10 on my Switch games one day. I'll do another video on that. But this is probably my favourite 2D game. Yep. I totally recommend this to anybody who is looking for a 2D platform game. I would go as far as saying this is better than Mario Wonder. That's how good it is. Okay, next up, got Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now this is a game I was really excited for. You know, it was being compared to Mario Odyssey, and you know, it's like a 3D version of Mario Odyssey. Whatever he eats, he becomes it. And it was a great idea, and I'll be honest, it is a good game. It's really fun. I still haven't cleared it though. You know, it's a game I bought mainly so that I could play with my nieces, and you know, it's a family game. And weirdly though, I don't know, my nieces, they're not that into it as I thought they would be, because they like Kirby and they love Mario Odyssey, so I thought this would be perfect for them, but don't know, they just they got bored. But I actually think this is probably the best Kirby game I've actually played, but I've just had, you know, too many games to go through, and yeah, just never got around to finishing it, but it is on the list, you know, of games to go through. So yeah, it's a good game. Yeah, that's another one. Then we got Pikmin 1 and 2. Now these are just classics, you know, especially the first one. For me, a lot of it is nostalgia. I love Pikmin 1. you know, GameCube game, and they remastered it, put it on the Switch, and I'll be honest, I never played number 2. If I did play it back in the days, which I think I did, I didn't play it for much, so I never actually played it. So I'm excited to play number 2 as well. It'll be probably like a first time properly playing number 2, but number 1 was brilliant, and it still plays well, you know, played through it, and it's timeless. It's just as good as the new ones. Live Alive. This is actually a really good game. It's not as good as games like Chrono Trigger or, you know, Final Fantasy VI, but it's a beautiful game. It's, you know, 2D, HD. I actually prefer this over Octopath Traveler. It's kind of short, but it's still good. It's fun, and I like it. If you like your old school SNES games, SNES RPGs, you'll like this one. Yeah, it's a really cool, good-looking, visually stunning game, and it's kind of short as well, but I like it. Yeah. Fire Emblem Engage. Now this one, I'm still playing through it. Haven't played it, and for me, honestly speaking, it's probably the weakest Fire Emblem game that I've played as a mainline entry one. It's not a bad game, but it doesn't really bring much new to the gameplay for me. You know, the new mechanics, the engage system, it's okay, but I don't know, maybe it's because I'm playing it on normal and not hard, but I've just breezed through it, and the story isn't anything special, you know, it's okay, it's not something I get engaged to. Yeah, I'm still going to complete it, but I've put it on hold for now. Paper Mario, the Origami King. Now, when this first got revealed, it looked amazing. I thought it looked amazing. I know a lot of people have been critical on it. I still think it's a good game. I don't mind the combat. I'm not one of those who compares it with, you know, past games. I think it's good in its own right. It's different, and I like what Nintendo do a lot of the times, where, you know, they make games that are different, not always repeating the same formula. This is a good game, but I've only done 15 hours and I haven't played it for 3 years, so that's that. That's what I do sometimes. I start a game and put it down and don't go back to it. And it's not because the game is bad, it's just there were other games that came out that year that were more interesting. It is a game I plan to go back to, but I don't know when. It's a good game, but it's not amazing. But maybe I should finish it and then I can, you know, judge it properly. I haven't played Pikmin 4 yet. It's in my collection. I bought it and I've just done number 3, but I want to go back and do number 1 and 2 again before I play number 4. So I've not even touched it. I've done the demo and that's about it. And so far the demo was good, so that's why I bought this. So it is on my to-do list. Not much else to say about this one. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's a great game. You know, Xenoblade games never let you down. I still haven't done the DLC. I've played the main game. It's a good story. It's actually probably the most emotional out of all 3 of them. And some really good voice acting as well. What I will say though, the soundtrack in this one is not as good as the first 2. And it's done by the same people as well, same team. I thought that was its weakest part, which is strange. You know, I thought they could have done a bit more with the music, but apart from that, the story is actually very good. It's nicely linked, especially with the DLC. I know I've not done it, but I've been told it's nicely linked with the first 2 games. But yeah, it's a good game. It's a really good game. It's definitely a Game of the Year nominee for me of 2022. I will say this, it's probably my least favourite out of the 3. Doesn't mean it's a bad game, it's a very good game, but the first 2, they're just something else. So yeah, Xenoblade, great game. I haven't played this one yet, Deadly Premonition. I know it's not meant to be very good, but I don't know what it is, something about this game just grabs my attention. So, I'm gonna check it out one day. It's on my to-do list. This game I've played originally when it came out on the PlayStation, and I loved it, but I never completed it. And it's on the Switch, so you know I heard it's a very good port, and I will rather play it on portable, just like Persona 5. It's one of those games, you know. Yeah, it's on my to-do list. I did half of it on the PS4 when it first came out, but I've not completed it, so I need to go through this one. Skyrim. Now, there was obviously a big hype about this game when it first came out at launch, so I bought it, and this one might be controversial, but I think it's a good game. I just don't think it's as good as everybody made it out to be. You know, I just don't get it. It's a good game, but it's also very buggy, and I don't like buggy games. But it's a good game. It's not a bad game. I just don't think it's as good as everyone made it out to be. I did 60 hours on it, completed the main story, and that was it. Maybe I'll go back to it one day, and, you know, see what I'm missing out on. I don't know. This is a really good game. Tokyo Mirage Session originally came out on the GameCube. Not the GameCube, Wii U. And I played only up to Chapter 3, and then I got sidetracked, as I do. But from what I played, it was really good. It's made by Atlas, you know, the team or company that made Persona. So it's more of a cross between Shin Megami, and it's meant to be a cross between Fire Emblem and Shin Megami, but there's hardly any Fire Emblem in it. They got the few characters from Fire Emblem, and they like fight along you in battle. That's about it. Other than that, it's more of a Shin Megami game. So if you like the Shin Megami, you'll like this. It's not, I wouldn't compare it with Persona. It's more like Shin Megami, but it's cool. It's different. Bates and Kaitos. Now this one, I played it originally on the GameCube when it first came out, #1. From what I remember, it was half decent, so I thought I'd give it another go. But I've not even started it since I bought it on the Switch. So again, it's on my to-do list. Dragon Quest XI. Now, unlike a lot of other games I've got in my collection, this I couldn't put down. This was amazing. It's the only Dragon Quest game I've played properly from start to finish, and it was amazing. I know people say number 11 is number 11, and number 8 is meant to be the best in the series. Well, for me, it's this one. I've seen number 8, and I'm sure for its time would have been fantastic, but this one, Dragon Quest XI, is easily one of the best RPGs you can buy on the Switch right now. Metroid Dread. What can I say about this game? It surprised us all. Not that Metroid games are bad or anything, they're amazing, but these days we look at Metroid Prime as the prime Metroid games. Should never write off the 2D ones, and Metroid Dread is easily up there as one of the best Metroid games. You know, this is in the top 5, I would say. Yeah, definitely in the top 5. Brilliant game. I really enjoyed this. I played it more on the Wii U than I did on the Switch. It was fun. It was really, really fun. And if anyone's not played it, I totally recommend it. If you like the Dynasty Warrior games, it's a really fun game. Link's Awakening remake. Now this game, the original, is one of my all-time favourites. What I will say is, personal opinion, the art style is very unique, but I'm not really a big fan of it, that's the truth. I don't think it's bad. I think it's different. It's like a toy and everything. It looks cool. But I don't know, because it's a remake of one of my all-time favourites. I would have preferred it if they stuck with the original art style. And yeah, maybe they could have used this art style for, I don't know, another Zelda game or something. But anyway, either way, it's a brilliant game. It's exactly the same as the original, apart from the visuals, obviously. So yeah, it's a great game. Definitely worth picking up. Okay, next we've got Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. Now, I've not even played this game. I bought this game last year when it came out. I love Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I also love the the Warriors games. So that's why I bought this, but I've still not got around to playing it. I'm sure it'll be fun. They're all pretty much the same type of game. But yeah, that's on my to-do list. Not even touched it yet. I have, however, cleared Fire Emblem Warriors. This came out the same year the Switch came out, and it was actually really good. I actually preferred this over Hyrule Warriors. If anyone's not played this and you like Fire Emblem, I highly recommend it. And of course, then you've got Fire Emblem Three Houses. I love this game. If you like Persona, you'll like this. It's quite similar with the whole calendar system. And obviously it's got the strategic battle as usual. It's probably one of the best Fire Emblem games that's come out. Probably between this and Awakening so far that I've played. But yeah, 3 Houses, brilliant game. Shin Megami Tensei. Now this one, I don't know what to say about this. I have completed it. It's got good gameplay and it's very hard. But if you get the DLC, it's a lot easier because you can just level up really quick and then just breeze through the game, which is what I did. The story, I'm not a big fan of the story. I'm gonna be honest. I found the game to be a little bit too blasphemous. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit offensive, personally. That's what I think. So I'm not a fan of the story, but the gameplay was good. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say about Shin Megami. Front mission first. Now this is a collector's set that I bought. It actually comes with a few things like a postcard, booklet. Yeah. And then I've got this like 3D hologram type of case. Front Mission is a series I've always wanted to play, but because they never really came out in Europe, never really played any of them. I think I've played a little bit of Front Mission 3 on the PS1. But yeah, it looks good. I'm a fan of Square's classic strategy games. I've not played this yet. It's on my to-do list. Next, we have Tactic Ogres Reborn. As you can see, it's still in the wrapper. Not even taking it out of the case because I just bought the game and not even started thinking about even playing it yet. It's on my to-do list. I've got a lot of games on my to-do list and this is one of them. I can't comment on this game other than it's a strategy RPG originally made by Enix back in the days, and I think this is a remake. So yeah, it's on my to-do list. Got another one here, still in the case, Harvest Stellar. It's kind of like a farming game and an action RPG at the same time by Squaresoft or Square Enix. So yeah, it's on my list. At some point I'll have to get around to that, but it's still in the case. As you can see, the wrapper is still on. Octopath Traveler 2. Now, the first Octopath Traveler was a good game. Never actually cleared it, but I know it was a good game, so I thought, I'll get the sequel. And yeah, still haven't played this one though, not started it. Another one on the pile. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now, this is one of my favourite games on the Switch. Might even be in my top 5. Definitely in the top 10. I'm not sure. I can't ask. Somebody asked me which one do I prefer, 1 or 2. It's a tough one. Maybe 2. Maybe 2 just edges it. Absolutely brilliant. I love number 2. Skyward Sword remaster. But you know what? When this game first came out on the Wii, I absolutely loved it. I know a lot of people didn't. I did. I've not really played much of it since I got it on the Switch. Tried out the controls. I don't mind the controls, I think they're alright. But after playing Breath of the Wild, it's kind of hard to go back to the traditional Zelda games. I'm going to give it another go at some point. You know what I think of this game. Game of the year for me, easily. I know people are going to argue it's Baldur's Gate, but I'm not really into them sort of games. If Baldur's Gate wins, fair enough. But for me, this is Game of the Year. That's all I'm going to say on Tears of the Kingdom. What can I say about this one? One of the best games of all time. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is the better game. But Breath of the Wild is the one that changed the industry from for open world games. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. One of the easily in the top 5 for the Switch games. For me, this is one of the most underrated games, Astral Chain. Absolutely love this game. I think for me, this is the best Platinum Games game ever released, and it definitely deserves a sequel. If you guys haven't played it, go pick it up. I've waited over 20 years to play this game, and finally it came out this year after being delayed multiple times. And I cleared Advance Wars Part 1. It took me about 20 hours, and I really enjoyed it. I'm taking a break right now from starting number 2, but I totally recommend this game if you like strategy games. Ring Fit Adventure. All I'm going to say about this one is it's way better than Wii Fit. It's a brilliant game. I might have to do a video on it one day. Yeah, totally recommend it for anyone that wants a fitness game. Bayonetta 3. Now this game, it's a good game. I've not cleared it yet, surprisingly. Considering how long it took to come out, 5 years or so in development, I expected a lot more. It's still a good game. It's very, the visuals are nice. Gameplay is very smooth. Combat's brilliant. I don't know what it is though. There's something about it. I don't feel hooked. But I'll have to complete it before I give like a review on it. But yeah, it's a good game. If you like the first 2 Bayonettas, you'll like this. This game, I've started it. I've only done about 3 or 4 hours. Bravely Default 2, and what I will say is the soundtrack is fantastic. It's probably up there with the Final Fantasy games. The graphics are nice too. It is a bit hard, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty tough, but it's on my to-do list. I've only done a couple of hours. I love Monster Hunter, the main Monster Hunter games. I have not even started this game. It's still on my to-do list, Monster Hunter Stories 2. So yeah, another one on my pile that I need to go through. Mario Maker 2. Oh, you get a pen with this one. Stylus. Now, Mario Maker 2 is definitely better than Mario Maker 1. However, it was much better playing this game on the Wii U. I feel like a second screen is needed. Like a portable screen to design the levels. But yeah, it's still a brilliant game. It's got a single player campaign in it this time. Yeah, it's a fun game. I totally recommend it. I just didn't design many levels because I've struggled a bit using the control pad. And of course, this is my last game on the list, Monster Hunter. I love this game. I haven't done the DLC, but I've completed the main game. Made a lot of friends online playing this game. For me, Monster Hunter series are the best online multiplayer games. That's just my opinion. I can't really play FPS games, but Monster Hunter, they're definitely the best co-op online games. I love them. And this one for me is the best in the series. So yeah guys, that's my pile. That's all my games. Let me know what you think of each game, if you've got any, what you think. So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching.